Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Coming back with some good news. Arsenal 4, Leicester City 2. First game of the home calendar season for Arsenal this season. And what a way to kick it off. 4 goals, and I'm just going to go through a bit of the player ratings and how I think we played in general. So kicking it off, in goal, Aaron Ramsdale. For me, didn't have a great deal to do. In the beginning, it was 2-0, was quite comfortable. Obviously, then conceded 2 goals. One of them, an own goal by William Saliba. I think Ramsdale, if he was in a bit of a better position, obviously not expecting him to head it back like that, he would have dealt with it. But the second goal was a bit of just a dodgy goal. So, for me, all in all, I don't think he did anything overly wrong. So, I'm just going to give him a steady 7 out of 10 for today. Obviously, he didn't get his clean sheet, which we know infuriates him, as we've seen on the Arsenal All or Nothing videos. But yeah, just a steady 7 out of 10 for Ramsdale. Played a good ball through for, I believe it was Jesus, who had a chance at the hat-trick when he turned Johnny Evans inside out. And as he turned him inside out, Johnny Evans' shirt was the wrong way around. It was absolute class. But we'll get onto that man a little bit later on. Right back, we had Ben White. Obviously, Tomiyasu wasn't ready to start the game. He came on, made a bit of a feature. But Ben White, again, very good going forward, which isn't normal for Ben White, really. He's more of a back playing centre back, or right sided centre back. So I was quite happy with that one. Linked up well with Saka on that right hand side, and Partey was playing on the right side of the midfield. So good performance from Ben, just quite average really. So again, another 7 out of 10 performance for me. Moving on to the 2 centre backs, starting with Saliba. The man got off to an absolute flyer in the Arsenal shirt, and for me, I think he played quite well again today. Obviously, the own goal, the ball was put into a bit of an area where he had to get something on it, otherwise it gives the striker a free chance, an attempt on goal. So for me, he had to put his head in there. So I'm not too overzealous about it. It's one of them things that happens in football, but you can see he's got the intent to get to the ball, make sure there's no easy chances coming for the Leicester strikers today. He was originally going to get an 8 for me, but it's dropped down to a 7. Obviously, he still played very well. Good tackles, good passing from the back. So yeah, just that own goals let him slip a little bit, but not too much. Nice 7 out of 10. The other centre-back, Gabriel, I think he played pretty much faultless, to be honest. He made himself present in the attacking third, from corners. And the way we played, I don't know if you watched the game, but obviously I watched it. The way we played, Zinchenko kind of fell forward into the defensive midfield role when we was attacking. So we played like a flat 3 at the back. And Gabriel was the man who was carrying the ball forward and passing between the lines, getting it to the likes of Xhaka, Odegaard. He was passing it straight through the lines at points. So a very good performance from Gabriel for me. Obviously, conceding 2 goals, you can't really give him anything higher than a 7. So for me, it's a 7 for Gabriel as well. Yeah, Zinchenko, left back, also makeshift CDM as on the attacking phases. The man has brought some absolute quality into this Arsenal team. You can tell because it's passing on to the likes of Partey and Xhaka. The way they're playing a lot more freely, a lot more confident with the ball at the feet, and it's a new Arsenal. I'm over the moon with watching my team at the minute. I used to be watching them thinking, there we go, we're going to lose to the likes of Brentford. No shout out to Man United. But yeah, teams like that I was worried about going to play. But now I see it as 3 points on the sheet, which is what you need to be competing in the top flight of football. Teams like Man City, teams like Liverpool, obviously they slipped up against Fulham first game of the season. But Man City, they don't make them slip-ups. They get the points they need. And then it's the big games like Man City, Liverpool, Man City, Man U, Man City, Arsenal. They're the ones that decide the league. So, picking up them points, home and away, against teams like your Brentfords, your Brightons, it needs to be done. Obviously, your Leicesters, it needs to be done. So, but Zinchenko brought some utter confidence into this Arsenal team. He carries the ball forward. Obviously, Arteta, he knows he can play in the midfield role as he does for Ukraine. So, I think the system we've implemented on the front foot is so that when we're attacking, he slips into that midfield role and Xhaka pushes on even further to become like to play like two number 10s. So we got Odegaard and Xhaka playing in behind the front three, which is, it overloads the attack, and Leicester just couldn't keep up with it. Like, even when Leicester scored their 2 goals, we were straight back on them, straight back on the front foot, goal from either side of their goals. So we didn't give them no breathing space. That's what I want to see. That is the sighting of a team that knows how to get it done, knows how to get the 3 points. Was 2-0 up, comfortable in the game. They scored 2-1. A minute and 35 seconds later, 3-1. Arsenal straight back on it. I love to see it. Arteta's bringing something to this game, and I'm happy to see where this goes. For me, Zinchenko, 7 out of 10. Moving on to the midfield, Thomas Partey. What a performance from this man. He's been questioned. Obviously, a lot of people slander him online because of what's been going through the papers and the news. But that man has put in a star performance, and I'm going to tell you with a rating that I'm giving you now. That guy gets 8 out of 10 for me. Playing through the passing lines, picked up the ball, controlled the pace of the game throughout. The man was almost unplayable. He was like prime Pogba in a France team. It was crazy. Just controlled everything, hacked players down when he had to, won the ball, broke up phases of play, and got the attacking phases underway. And it was just lovely to watch that man play. 8 out of 10. Simple as that. Moving on to his compatriot in that midfield, we've got Granit Xhaka. For me, this man today put in an 8 out of 10 performance as well. He got the goal, which is, Xhaka's always capable. It tends to be a screamer. But the way we was playing today, as I said, Zinchenko pushing forward, it almost put Xhaka into another number 10 role alongside Odegaard. And he found himself inside the box scoring. How often do you see that from Xhaka? Not very often. It just shows you the kind of football we are playing at Arsenal this season. And we're playing on the front foot. We're going for games. And we're not playing with any fear, which is what Arsenal were made to do. Wenger started that football at Arsenal, and it's good to see that it's starting to come back to our beautiful club, and I'm so happy. 8 out of 10. Just in front, Martin Odegaard. That man, I think, for me, he's a good player. He's picked up the captaincy, but you can see his performances are changing. He's not really influential in the game like he was last season. I think he's taking on more of the leadership role now than the actual doing bits on the pitch, getting goals, getting assists. He's not getting the contributions like he was, but he's definitely becoming a leader on that pitch. You can see it from the boys. The momentum, he picks them up. He's pointing, shouting to players, telling them to get into positions. Pardon me. And yeah, I think for me, just because of the leadership role, it's brought his rating up a little bit. But for the playing side of things, I've got to give him an average 7 out of 10. Nothing too special, nothing bad. So for me, 7 out of 10 all the way for that man. Yeah, not much more to say. Moving out onto the right-hand side, we had the star boy. It's Bukayo Saka. Again, for me, like Odegaard, he had a bit of a weird one. He was playing well in patches, but it's not the Saka we saw break through last season and play out of his skin with his 20 goal contributions he had last season with the goals and assists. He's taken up a more different role. I think everything's coming through our left-hand side now with Martinelli and Jesus. But he put a dangerous ball into the box early on. Obviously, he did it against Palace as well, which led to an own goal. And he's been fizzing balls in left, right and centre. So it's good to see him out on the wide. But for me, it's just a 7 out of 10 for Saka, sorry. Yeah, and moving out onto the left, this man, for me, he's got a shot at man of the match today. He's put, honestly, I'm going to go for it here. He's got a 9 out of 10 for me. He's put in tenacity. He's put in the work rate. He was tracking down every single loose ball. He had Wesley Fofana on toast. Chelsea, please buy this man for 70 million. Waste of money. Get him bought. Get your funds gone. Get him in your back line so Martinelli can rip him up when we come to Stamford Bridge. I would love to see that transfer happen. Martinelli had that man looking like Bambi on ice. He couldn't hack it. He gave me a yellow card in 5 minutes. Wesley Fofana was running up to him like, oh, can't touch you. Sorry, mate. Took him out of the game completely. He had him on absolute toast. Oh, mate, that guy. He got an assist. He got a goal again. Performance. It's 2 goals in 2 games for a left winger, Martinelli. you can't complain. Like we said, we got to get goals from different positions, and they're coming. So I'm so excited to see how this season takes shape. But for me, so far this season, it's off to a flying start. 1 win at home, 1 win on the road. You can't ask for any more. Obviously, you can ask for 2 clean sheets, but Leicester are one of them sticky teams that teams always seem to struggle against. They got the 2 goals. It's good for Leicester in a way, but we got the 3 points. That's all that matters. And now, last but not least, the man that we have bought in this transfer window who's setting Arsenal alight. It is Gabriel Jesus. I mean, 4 goal contributions in his first home game at the Emirates Stadium. What a player. 2 goals, 2 assists. This guy is... he's going to do wonderful things at Arsenal. I said this early doors. A lot of people were like, nah, you're delusional, this, that and the other. I said this man will get 20 Premier League goals this season. People are like, he's never reached it playing at Man City. What? He's not going to do it at Arsenal. As soon as that man gets minutes under his belt, puts a run of games together, he is going to be a very hard to stop player. And what helps this man is the run of games we've got in the first month of the season. We've got Crystal Palace, we've already played. Leicester, we've got Bournemouth, we've got Fulham. We've got some good games to get this man tied into the team, get him some minutes under his belt in the Premier League this season before the international break, and get him off to an absolute flyer. 2 goals in 2 games. There's not much more you can ask. And for me, that is the man of the match performance, and I've got to give him a 9 out of 10 as well. The only reason why he didn't get the 10 is because he had 2 very good chances at getting his hat-trick. One was when he turned Johnny Evans inside out, and it was a good last-ditch run. I think it was from Ndidi who put him off from getting his hat-trick. But also he had a chance at half an open goal, which fell on his left foot, and he put it on the outside of the post. So for me, 9 out of 10 for Gabriel Jesus. The only reason why he's not got the 10 is because he had 2 very big chances at the hat-trick. That's me being critical, but that's what this big club needs. It needs people who are realistic. I think that man should have got a hat-trick today. He didn't. Obviously, we got the 3 points. He played superb, got the 4 goal contributions, but the hat-trick for me was a must. It was there to be taken, and he didn't take it. So in order for this club to be great again, that's what we need to be asking for. We need to be asking for them things to be done. So for me, that's what's happening. And just quickly rolling through on the subs, you've got Tomiyasu, who was brought on for Ben White, who seemed to pick up a bit of a knock. He only played about 25-30 minutes, so for me, just a steady 6 out of 10. Can't give him higher than the 7 because there's not enough minutes performed. But what he did well. Bombing forward like we see him do. It's nice to see him getting some minutes under his belt. Obviously, he's not the starting right back at the minute. Ben White's filling in, but he's doing a good job. So it's nice to see we actually got a little bit of squad depth compared to a few seasons ago. And the squad depth isn't too bad either. Tomiyasu, very reliable player. Quite good, so it's nice to watch him play. 6 out of 10. Same on the other side. Kieran Tierney came on for Zinchenko. Zinchenko going forward is a different animal. But when it comes to trying to see out a game, I think that's Arteta's go-to man. Kieran Tierney, get him half an hour, 25 minutes under his belt, get the game sorted out, and just make sure we get the 3 points, which he did again today. Did it at Crystal Palace. So yeah, for me again, 6 out of 10. And our last sub was Eddie Nketiah, number 14. He came on for Jesus, and he had a good chance. The ball got floated into the box. He put a header in. I think the keeper, Danny Ward, I think it is, he pulled off a good save. Obviously, it turned out to be offside, but he's getting himself in the right areas. I think training with Jesus and doing a little bit of drill work with Jesus is rubbing off on him a little bit. So, really excited to see this man develop. Obviously, not the biggest fan of Nketiah anyway. I said that we needed to get rid of him. Not worth the wages we're paying him, really, when you look at what other teams are paying. But I'm a man who loves to give people a chance. I do like giving people a chance to prove themselves and prove other people wrong. That's the main thing in football. Obviously, you're not going to start off setting the world alight. He's not done that at Arsenal, but hopefully he can fall into his own with Jesus and just get some minutes under his belt. Hopefully he'll take up most of the Europa League games and a few of the cup games as well. And we'll see how he does with that one. But for me, guys, that's my player ratings for today. 3 points for the Gunners at Emirates Stadium. roll on next week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, follow and subscribe. See you guys later. Thank you.